Hello everyone, welcome to our very first rerun. It's been a busy time around here at Film School Slacker, but we have a very fun fall season coming up that we can't wait to share with you. In the meantime, take a listen to one of our very first episodes from over a year ago, the Da Vinci Code. Enjoy.
Film School Slacker contains adult language and themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, welcome to Film School Slacker, the podcast where I watched my ever-growing watch list of movies I've never seen, do we want to know, let's see what my current count is, because it's significantly...
I know you've added at least 5 since the last time we recorded, which
I think it's been even more than that.
A week ago.
It's terrifying. Hold on.
Or maybe you went through and added a bunch more. I don't pay that much attention to what you
That's for the best, honestly.
I should.
145 is currently the count on my watch. It's a lot, but the kinds of movies on there are the thing that is really frightening to people, because it's like, wow, I really should have seen that, but I haven't.
But I have not.
Oh, I'm Ian.
I'm Megan.
And today we're gonna watch the Da Vinci Code.
Yes.
Which I obviously have not seen, but I did read the book, and also I also read Angels and Demons.
Okay.
I think.
That's the one in the Vatican.
Yes, and I feel like I read one more of his. Maybe it was Lost Symbol.
Probably either Lost Symbol or Inferno.
I don't think it was Inferno, so it must have been Lost Symbol.
I read Inferno while I was in college.
Okay.
Well, okay. So 2004, the book came out.
Right.
I remember reading the book in middle school, like in my 7th grade science class when I was supposed to be paying attention.
Amazing. Tell me a story about how you were a gifted kid without saying you were a gifted kid. Bored and reading.
The movie, The Da Vinci Code, came out 2006, 2 hours and 29 minutes, directed by Ron Howard.
Oh my God, I forgot about oh my God.
Tom Hanks,
America's
Audrey
Dad.
Tautou, Sir Ian McKellen, and Paul Bettany and Alfred Molina.
Oh, that's actually a surprisingly fun cast.
Really fun cast.
That's wow. So I will say that I really enjoyed this book reading it.
The chapters are so short. You just go from one to the next.
You just keep moving. It's great. But now I'm curious. So you've seen all this already?
Yes. A few times. Actually, this... Oh, wow. Oh, core memory unlocked. I totally forgot about this. Going to see this movie was my first ever movie date when I was in, 2006. So I would have been 13.
That's cute.
14.
I love that.
Depending on what time of year.
It was.
Probably. I think it was this strikes me as a summer release.
Probably.
I could look it up, but I don't care that much.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that much.
But yeah. This was my first ever movie date.
Cute.
With my middle school boyfriend.
Amazing.
Oh boy.
What different times
who's
those
like
were.
Gay now and
amazing.
I mean,
really, you're really the Carrie Fisher of our time.
If only. God, I would kill to be a script editor.
And
oh God, that'd be so fun. Anyway,
the whole thing. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. Wait, what? Did you have a question? I
was just I explained my
yes
relationship with this content, with the media, the text,
the IP.
Yes. And I'm wondering, and I know that you've seen the movies,
read,
and you read. I'm assuming the most of them.
I read the Da Vinci Code. I read Angels and Demons. I read Inferno when I was in college, taking a course on the actual Inferno.
Amazing.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Birds.
So the whole class was on Dante's Inferno?
Yeah, we went. So every class we went through a couple of the cantos, the levels of hell chapters.
Yeah.
And there were some, and so we read it, and it was an art history course.
Okay.
Because that was my major. It was an art history major in college.
Classic.
I will get to that. So I was an art. It was an
spoilers.
Yeah, it was an art history credit.
Yeah.
And we went through the whole Inferno, and yeah, it was a really, really cool course because we did a deep dive into Dante and all of the art that the Inferno inspired, and in a lot of different time periods.
That's super cool, actually. Yeah.
It turned me on to Gustave Doré, whose works are fucking iconic, and I love them. Like because he did, I think Gustave Doré did one. He did what was it? Wood carving print things.
Oh, like I know what you're talking about. Lithograph. Yes, lithograph. That's metal etched, I think, or maybe not.
Something.
Either way, it's like a fancy stamp that you then stamp onto paper.
So he did that. He did one for every canto of Inferno, and some of them are, I'm pretty sure you would recognize because you probably have seen them before.
Sure.
But anyway, long way to say, I have a monologue about this, and here it goes. So, I have a complicated relationship with this Dan Brown
text,
Robert Langdon IP type thing. So, Robert Langdon he's an art history professor at Harvard, right?
Right.
His specialty is, what do they call it? Symbology?
Yes.
That's not a thing. It's not a thing. Like in like the academia of art history, it's called iconography.
Okay.
And he's kind of a bit of a Mary Sue in his knowledge level because he's very broad. Whereas in like if I had gone into art history academia, you pick very specific things. Like the reason I was able to take that Dante course was because my professor, Ida Odie, who has since retired, is living her best life down in Florida.
Amazing.
I think it was her master's.
Okay.
When she got her master's, it was specifically studying art around or that depicted Dante's Inferno.
Got it.
So she dove into Doré, and she looked at Rodin's Gates of Hell, which are big sculpted doors that are in France, I want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you pick very, very specific things. So Robert Langdon's like super broad knowledge of all of these different things is kind of not accurate.
Right. I chalk that up to what I call national treasure syndrome.
It is, yeah. It definitely is.
There's like Ben Gates can't possibly know all the things that he knows.
Right.
I mean, it's possible, but I think I get what you're saying though, in the fact where like he's a treasure hunter and the suspension of disbelief is kind of there. Mm-hmm. The problem here is there's so much that you're led to believe is based on reality, and the idea that Robert Langdon is like from the very core of it, what he is doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I can see why that's frustrating.
Because like in the very beginning, he goes through kind of well-known symbols.
Right.
And you'll see that in what we're about to watch.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if he's just looking at symbols, like the swastika, for example, or a trident, or a horned figure, like that is so much to just have stored in your mental piggy bank.
Right.
Like, and I'm not saying it's not possible. Hi, I have ADHD.
Right. We all have our fixations. Yes, I get it.
I have fixations on weird shit like that, but it's not usually all these different things and all the history about them.
Right.
It's this thing, all of the history about it, and then maybe within that history there's this other thing, and then the history of that thing and how it crosses with this thing, and it's all very weird.
It bugs me. I think it doesn't bug me as much like the actual like this person has too much knowledge, because you're kind of bypassing the idea of doing research, right?
Yeah.
Because that's like, you don't want to watch that in a show. It's really fucking boring. But I think I understand specifically the thing I'm latching onto that I definitely can get behind is the fact that like he's supposed to be a profession. He's like supposed to be a thing, that this is a thing.
This is not,
but it doesn't exist.
He is the Indiana Jones of art history.
Right. Exactly.
And Indiana Jones, to be fair, is a little bit the Indiana Jones of art history. Like
he's archaeology, right?
Yeah, archaeology.
Yeah.
He is like, this is not what an art historian does.
Right.
Like,
right.
They might find some cool shit, but it's not going to be,
right.
What did they call it? A globe-trotting adventure, but it might be. It's just, it's very. This is like, if he's an art historian, like I'm a freaking film editor,
right?
Like,
right.
Anyway,
I got you.
However, all of that being said, I would not be where I am today without these books, or without at least the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah,
because it sparked my initial interest.
Yes.
Like,
fair.
I devoured this book when it came out in my 7th grade science class.
Same.
I mean, in other classes too, but I specifically remember the science class because the sun was shining and it was very nice. And
lovely.
It's I don't know, core memory.
Yep. Yep.
And I was like, wait, you can get all of this cool ass information out of a painting?
Right.
Like a painting from hundreds of years ago? That is so cool. Oh my God, I have to go look at all of this really cool shit. And so I would not have the interest in history and art and whatever without
I agree.
these books.
I agree. I think that that's a fair assessment, and I think I'm probably in the same boat. I always kind of liked, like, for example, like National Treasure is a movie from a very similar time period.
I think they're the same year. Give me
they
one
might
second.
be. National Treasure might have been the year prior.
I think that sounds right.
But either way, like, it's these stories that create a sense of I'm trying the best way to describe it. They're stories
2004,
that
so 2
connect
years
you.
Before.
Okay. Wow, really? Holy shit.
2004. This came out 2006.
Wow.
The second National Treasure came out in 2007.
Oh my God, that was way sooner than I thought it was going to be before the first one. Well, anyway, moral of the story is I feel like these stories that are able to connect us to the living history of something.
Yes.
That I think is something that I learned from this book, from National Treasure the movie, all that stuff. That is, or even the Indiana Joneses and the Mummy, even though the Mummy gets a little more into the campy fantasy aspect of it. But it's the same thing. It's that bringing.
Did I put that in my top 5? Oh no, I think I had to bump it for something else. Fuck it, putting it back. Putting it back.
She's putting it back.
I'm putting it back. Anyway.
But yes, no, I agree. I think that is a it's a thing that I think bonds us.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a lot of people our age were inspired by that trend. Like the Egyptology book.
Oh God, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
The
like
piratology
book. Those ology books. Now I have to find an ology book. I think
you can find them on Amazon, I bet.
Oh, they're so cool.
Yeah, so I have gripes, and I have gripes about this. Like, the books aren't really super that well written and whatever, but but also I wouldn't have this deep interest in what I have interest in without them. So it's kind of like a weird love-hate thing I get it. These. So anyway.
Yeah.
I am excited I think you'll find
it's been a long time since I've like consumed any of the Dan Brown stuff. So I'm kind of stoked to kind of almost take a trip down memory lane in some ways, and also hang out with America's Dad, Tom Hanks.
I mean, Tom Hanks is unhateable.
Right.
I love him.
And Gandalf. As if I recall, as the bad guy.
And Amelie.
And Amelie.
And Vision.
Oh yeah, and Vision. Why? How could we forget Vision?
As an albino.
Oh, is that who he plays?
Yeah, he plays the albino guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I also, and that's the other thing to remember is, for me was, I think
this was also like
it's the book that
first
sent me
interrogation of religion.
I was just about to say that was the first.
Lot of us.
Yes, that was the first. It was the first book, the first media I consumed, where I was like, maybe Christianity isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Great.
My mom's gonna hate to know that. Yeah, sorry, Mom.
I mean, I think
she gave me the book.
Kind of already knew it.
Yeah, I never really. Yeah, that was sort of the beginning of the end for me in terms of religion.
I never really jibed with Christianity.
Right. We're too much heathens to really.
Yeah. I don't know.
Burst into flames or whatever.
I mean.
You do you.
Yeah.
Not a witch. You do you.
Not a witch. You do you. I mean, I kind of am.
I'm not. I'm some guy. So
that's all right. Anyway.
All right. Let's
watch this.
Let's watch this damn movie. Here we go.
Ba-da-da. And we're back.
I mean, I certainly believe in Audrey Tattoo, so that's a thing.
So I was wrong. He's not a professor of symbology. He's a professor of religious symbology, which is a little more narrow of a field.
Right.
But it's still a pretty broad fucking field because, like,
look,
you get into religious symbology, you're talking, I would assume multiple religions other than Christianity.
Well, we didn't really talk about many others. Oh, they talked about pagans.
They did talk about pagans because Christianity stole a lot of pagan iconography.
Yeah. Okay, so here's like an overarching thought that kind of came to mind early on with this. Does this feel like the start of a new generation of like Anglophiles? Not Francophiles, Anglophiles. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like it definitely like... I mean, speaking personally... Right.
I was definitely like, oh shit, yeah, I want to go to Paris and England.
Right. Nothing wrong with that. It's just interesting.
I was kind of already on that. Like,
sure.
I've definitely always wanted to travel more.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to see Europe and
right
and different places, but like, I mean, maybe this kind of put a little bit of more fire under my butt, but also like like I want to go to the Louvre. I haven't been to Louvre. I've never been to Paris. I want to go to Paris.
Sure.
I was supposed to go to Paris, but that's a whole that's an entirely different podcast.
Story for a different day. That's going to be a Patreon exclusive where we just set Aaron down.
Literally, and just have him explain.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Oh, God. That'll be like an hour-long episode.
That's fine. Hopefully people will pay for that.
He does tell it better than I do.
He tells it pretty well.
He tells it really well.
That's kind of his whole vibe.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
It's part of his brand.
But anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so first things first.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself. Like, I liked it. Like, I don't know. There's
it
something
is the same vein as a National Treasure.
That's
a mummy.
true.
I mean, it's less campy, but
right. It took itself. So here, my one complaint I think is it does take itself a little too seriously, but that is sort of the nature of the source material.
Yeah.
So I'm not like that's okay. Like it is what it is. I think.
Well, so I pointed out to you towards the beginning of the movie that this is very accurate to the source material. It's probably one of the most accurate to the source material, books, book to movie.
I was surprised.
I've ever really seen.
Like, I was genuinely surprised that it was so accurate. Like, every single and again, I haven't read this book in 20 years, probably. Yeah. Maybe 17 years.
Yeah.
And every single plot point I remembered from the book was basically happening almost exactly the same. Or if it wasn't, it was just something that was clearly done because positionally it had to be done that way for the movie. Like, even down to the... We had discussed this earlier on, like, Teabing and his assistant, like, oh, he's gonna kill his assistant. I remember this. And he kills him, and in the book, it's like described specifically because of a peanut allergy.
Yeah.
But in the movie, we weren't. They didn't really say that.
It's more implied that it's poison. Because all he does is drink out of a flask, and since we're not as in the characters' heads as we are in a book,
and I forgot that he jumped characters a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, there were definitely...
That. He would jump from... It was mostly in Robert's head.
Yeah.
But not exclusively.
We got glimpses of...
Silas.
We got glimpses of the bishop. We got glimpses of...
Doc Ock, yep.
Yeah, Bishop Dr. Octavius.
Bishop Octavius.
And then we got, I think we got a little bit of the cop who's hunting him down, Fash.
Right, Fash, yep. Yep.
Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think we ever get Sophie's point of view.
Maybe we didn't.
I don't think we did in the book.
In the book. I think you're right.
But that's mostly because, and I think that's, the narrative choice there is because she's kind of the twist, the plot twist of it all. Twist. And she doesn't she's not one of the characters that we meet, well, then again, neither is Fash. Anyway.
No, yeah, she is
the plot twist.
But it is sort of almost a giveaway in the book because it's like, oh wait, she's the one person we don't get in the head of, and I think initially the idea is, from the narrative perspective, you're not supposed to trust her right away, even though she is the one that you are ultimately supposed to trust.
Yeah, because she's the great times however many
probably
granddaughter of
5,
Jesus Christ.
12, 30.
Oh God, at least. I don't know.
I don't know how you'd break that down. I don't want to do the math on that.
I don't either.
But, I think it played out weirdly like I had memorized, how my book memory of that story played out. I'm sure you're the same way, that you read the book and I build a movie when I read books in my head.
Yeah.
I shoot a movie in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is not far from the movie I shot in my head.
Yeah. It was harder for me to build the movie in my head when I was a kid because I had never, seen a lot of these places. I still haven't seen a lot of these places.
Sure.
I've been to London. I've been to
but description wise,
but
you're right. There's some details, but the scene building is rich enough that I never I couldn't geographically place the scene, but I could build the scene physically in my head of what I was looking at.
So do you remember I think it's season 2 of Ted Lasso, or maybe it's season 1 or 2 of Ted Lasso, when Roy Kent is reading the Da Vinci Code?
Oh man,
it's the episode where Keely kind of freaks at him because he just wants to be around her all the time, and she's like, "Go away! I need time to myself."
Oh yeah.
And he says something like, "God, I can't put it down. I can't put it down. Like the action is so crisp and the chapters are so short. You just keep going and going and going. It's just,
oh man,
I'll never forget that.
It is true. He's not wrong.
But also, this movie is a pretty major cultural touchstone. I remember other pieces of media at the time referencing it.
Yeah.
Not just Roy Kent in 2021, whenever that series was shot.
Right.
But also there's an episode of Gilmore Girls where one of the side characters is kind of laying out the whole plot to interest girls.
Yeah, I think it was... I think at the time, the Da Vinci Code, even as a book, was kind of something unique.
Yeah.
No one had really seen a serious take like that before. And the fact that what it was posing had such real implications.
Yeah.
It wasn't just
I think that's part of the reason I I picked it up in the first place was because the Catholic Church was so pissed about it.
Right.
And me being a teenager, like, and my dad's side of the family was Catholic. My grandpa was a Catholic priest. Again, that's another podcast entirely.
It's a different podcast for day.
But like, that's...
Catch that on the edit bay on Patreon. I'm kidding.
Literally.
Doesn't exist yet, but...
who knows?
It might.
We'll get there. Day. I believe in us. But yeah, just like, it was such a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
In 2005, 2006 that like... I don't think you could swing a dead cat without hitting.
No, I'm curious as to what year the book came out. Hold on.
I want to say 2005, mostly because I remember the How I Met Your Mother episode where they're talking about the last time Stella had sex.
2003.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And Angels and Demons was first.
Was it first?
Yeah, Angels and Demons was in 2000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Da Vinci Code was 2003. Yeah. And I looking at the album cover sends me back.
Oh yeah, no, I'm getting flashbacks.
Because my mom, I think, had a first edition hardcover book.
Oh shit.
And that's what I read.
Yeah.
Was the first edition hardcover Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, I definitely read the
It might have been the first true adult book
same
that I read, and even as a fairly young person when I read it, and it came across pretty strong in the movie too, but it was really strong in the book. It's a very horny piece of text.
There was oh wait, no, that's Angels and Demons that he actually has like
an orgy.
No, not an orgy, like an actual like sex worker waiting for him, or he goes to a brothel and there's a bunch of sex workers and
no. In the Da Vinci Code, they talk about a bunch of sex workers in the park.
Do they?
Yes.
I don't remember that part.
The scene where they escape into the park.
Yeah.
That
the Bois
scene,
de Boulogne.
Thank you.
Sorry, I took 4.5 years of French.
It's fine.
Sorry.
Yeah. You're not sorry.
No.
That scene, instead of one addict, it was sort of like an entire like series of vignettes of people. Yeah, it was sort of
sex workers.
Yeah, it was definitely condensed. Was because I know that they also took a trip to the Vatican at some point.
That's Angels and Demons.
Is it Angels and Demons? Yeah. I'm just getting the movies confused or the books confused now.
A lot of it follows a lot of the same beats. Angels and Demons versus like I feel like all of his stuff follows kind of the same beats.
Right. And it was Lost Symbol with a different character? Like
no,
it wasn't Robert Langdon, or was he a side character? I have
no idea.
I have this memory of one of the books he was reading.
Or saw it, so
I didn't watch it, but I think
I
read it.
This one, Da Vinci Code, was the first movie. Then they came out with Angels and Demons in like 2008.
Okay.
And Ewan McGregor's in that one, my other boyfriend.
Nice.
And then I feel like Inferno came out in 2012, 2013, okay. Movie-wise, not book-wise.
Sure.
I think I like Angels and Demons a little bit more.
I need from the book perspective or the movie perspective?
Both.
Okay. Angels and Demons was a long time ago. I read Da Vinci Code first.
Yeah, same.
And then I'm pretty sure I read Angels and Demons and Lost Symbol, but I'm not 100% positive on that. But I definitely now I'm like, okay, I guess I need to revisit these because it is exactly the kind of like popcorn content that I just want to sit there and munch on it. It's so good.
Like I mentioned, it's not like the books aren't exceptionally well written.
No, they're not amazing.
They're not
high art. No, they're not trying to be like physically written in a way that's supposed to be
literature.
Right. But they talk about a lot of interesting stuff. And it's not perfect, obviously, but it's fairly well researched, a lot of it.
And a lot of it is examining the cross between like religion and another thing. So this one was, religion and gender politics.
Right.
Like how
intersecting those sorts of items. Yeah.
And then Angels and Demons is the intersection of religion and science.
Right.
Because that's the one that starts at CERN.
Right. Yeah.
And then Inferno is kind of also
about science.
Religion and science, but it's more like biological warfare science rather than like
that makes
God
sense
particle science.
Right.
Biology rather than physics.
Sure.
And then Lost Symbol, I don't know anything about because I never read it or watched it.
I have this like floating fragment of a scene in my brain, and the character, which I don't remember if it's Robert Langdon or a different protagonist that we're following at the time. Steve.
Tom Hanks.
No, some
or maybe
guy.
Not Tom Hanks.
I don't remember who it was. Honestly, in my brain, he reminds me of the guy from the protagonist from American Gods. What's his name?
Shadow Moon?
He had a Shadow Moon vibe to me. In my brain, that's what this character reminds me of. And I can't remember if that's a Lost Symbol thing or I'm like mixing stories. Anyway, moral story. I have a memory of a scene where he's basically drowned, but he isn't because it's oxygenated liquid. And so it's like aquatic respiration.
That's weird because in Angels and Demons, Robert Langdon is drowned.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
No, because it's not an oxygenated liquid. He literally like fakes drowning.
Oh.
Because he knows how to fake drowning because he's a swimmer. It's
one more thing he's good at, that Robert Langdon.
So the plot, I mean, just the first, it is Robert Langdon.
Now this is specifically
is invited to give a lecture at the U.S. Capitol. By the head of the Smithsonian, who's also a Freemason.
Oh, that's right. That's the Freemasony one.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly remembering. I'll have to think about that. But I think it was Lost Symbol that scene happens. So maybe Robert Langdon, or not Robert Langdon, Dan Brown has a drowning kink. I have no idea.
He's got
I think he's got several kinks.
Speaking as a writer, you write out a lot of your own personal shit.
Having experienced Twilight, I can confirm it to 100% be true.
Ouch.
I've read some of your fan fiction, so that's the thing.
A lot of my fan fiction how many of my fan fictions of my characters have a healthy relationship with their parents? None of them. Hey. Anyway.
Bum bum ba-dum.
I mean, come on. Yeah. No,
I got it. So I have a series of notes, which I feel like is becoming customary now.
Please
because my notes are
I love your
such
notes.
weird, like just the spur of the moment things. There's like a couple that are actually like interesting, like film notes. The rest of them are just like me having a thought.
They're almost as good as the out of context Ian quotes. So I say rock on with your notes.
Thank you. Only to be followed up with out of context Meghan quotes.
Yes.
So that's the thing that we have.
Our out of context quote list that we have of each other, because that's a thing that we've done over the course of our friendship.
Yes, it's a whole thing.
I fucking love it.
So my notes. First one. Whoa, that's a fast PowerPoint. He's flying through at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Religion sure is kinky.
Yeah, because we get
Silas just
Paul Bettany's ass.
Yep, and just flogging himself.
Him flogging himself, and
just
with
the only way he can achieve climax
with the choke chain on his leg.
Yep.
Yeah, the prong collar on his leg.
Always fun. Was that called?
It's a prong collar.
There's like an
in the
story. There's a name.
In the story, there's a name for it, but as a person who has worked in the pet industry, it's a prong collar.
Oh,
like literally.
Oh no.
Maybe they sharpen the prongs so it actually penetrates the skin, but like, yeah.
Nothing says 2006 like escaping from the police through Paris with a smart car.
Was it actually a smart car?
Well, I think it was a smart car.
I fucking love that.
It's amazing.
I want a smart car.
Even now, you still want a smart car?
I don't know if they're shitty now.
They were shitty then.
Yeah, but
they were always
they're
shitty.
Funny.
I think they quit importing them. I don't know what happened. Like, I haven't seen one on the road in a long time. The big problem was they were super unsafe in accidents.
Yeah. Because if you hit a semi, you've hit literally
anything larger than you, especially now, is not great.
You're a stain on the floor.
Exactly.
Or on the highway or
I just have roadway. In all caps, and also with you.
And also with you.
Okay, so this is an actual...
with your spirit.
And with your spirit. What? Huh? I actually have like a real...
Your actual film note?
Cinematic film note, yeah. Liberal use of bleach bypass color. So I don't know if this movie was shot on film or was digital. I didn't do that much research.
And it is kind of in that
area where it's
area
not,
where it could be either.
It was probably at the tail end, but so it could have been either. But I'm unsure.
I feel like Ron Howard would be a film purist.
I think he would be too if he was given the option in that era. It looked film grainy to me. It looked like film, but
who knows?
Who's to say? What I will say is, I'm inclined to believe it was partially because all of like the historical like flashback reenactment stuff. It's very common to do like the kind of flash dip to white, kind of altered color thing. But one thing I did very specifically that I thought was interesting was it's hard to explain. But did you notice how like everything had like almost felt like it was sort of outlined or etched in black? I don't know how to explain bleach bypass to somebody, but it's sort of like two versions of the video exist at the same time: a black and white super harsh version and a color version, and they're overlaid onto each other.
Okay,
that's what they call bleach bypass. It's basically
a little comic booky a little bit.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a design, it's a style that was used in photography a lot too.
Yeah.
So it's basically it's a processing style for development. And so I have a theory that either they replicated a bleach bypass look or they actually bleach bypassed some film to do those historical reenactment scenes because they felt grainy and textural and it looked like bleach bypass to me. And I liked it. Like it at no point did I feel like I was questioning what they were going back to. They weren't trying to reinvent the wheel in terms of interpretation or it was all very literal, but I think that's very like classic Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't go for like art house production.
Yeah. He's not like crazy innovation guy.
He's not Mr. Auteur, but he also does a standard ass movie really well.
Yeah.
Like he is Mr. Standard Movie. He is a burger place. Yeah, like he's the Wes Anderson of Burger King. Like
I wouldn't even say he's like the 5-8 Club or Matt's Bar.
Yeah, I see, like a good Juicy Lucy.
Like a good Juicy. Like,
I got you.
They do like 3 things, but they do it
really well,
right.
But like you could say that about Wes Anderson too. But because he does like 3 things really well. But I know what you're saying. Like it's a staple food that's done incredibly well.
Yeah.
And like, I agree.
I didn't feel like this movie was asking me to interrogate the art, like the art form of film,
No, it didn't want you to.
Not a lot of movies do, but like...
Well, but it feels like it's either one way or the other really strongly.
It didn't feel like it was trying to break any boundaries. It didn't feel like... It was just good and entertaining and like comfort food. It's a comfort food. It's a popcorn movie,
Yep.
And
I agree.
Aaron definitely will revisit this movie every once in a while.
Yeah.
This and the subsequent films as well.
I kind of want to check out Angels and Demons.
We should do Angels and Demons because I like that one more.
Okay.
I think just because of the
So, yeah.
I don't want to put it all on the presence of Ewan McGregor, but it's not that.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That is fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple things. Okay, and then there was another bit that I wanted to call out.
Yeah.
which was in London, in some busy areas.
London,
they used like a shadow people effect, where it was like long exposure look on people, and I liked that it was sort of indicating that there was busyness, but they weren't overly portraying that. Like, it wasn't over the top.
Yeah, it was like it was like that classic high school movie scene where there's one person standing still and then everyone's flying around him.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like that, but it wasn't angsty high schoolness.
Right. It was even more subtle, I think. Yeah. And I think that
I think that they weren't moving super fast.
Right.
They were just kind of meandering like people do in a museum.
Right.
And that's kind of how you feel in a museum sometimes.
Totally. It feels like there's this kind of like ebb and flow of color and stuff around you. I thought, and again, I think it ties back to the sense that this movie was, it makes me feel like I'm reading the book. Like it genuinely did a good job of making me feel like the book felt.
Yeah.
And at no point did they really deviate from that.
Right.
And I just was very impressed by that.
Yeah.
Overall.
Like I said, I think this is one of the most accurate film adaptations that I've seen, other than like Good Omens. But Good Omens was a show rather than a movie.
Right. Right. So it was a little bit different presentation.
Yeah. Well, and I remember reading an interview with Dan Brown, who wrote the novel, but not the screenplay. He's like, they originally wanted him to write the screenplay so they could keep it pretty close.
Right.
But like he ended up being like, I can't really cut out what I need to cut out.
Right.
And I can't do it.
I give him a lot of respect.
He's definitely more of a novelist than a screenplay writer.
And I give him respect for kind of props for being like, hey,
for being able to do.
I'm not going to do this. I know that what this requires is more, and this is, and I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I know that I've talked about with you before, is I have a fundamental problem, or like a mistrust of directors who insist on editing their own work.
Right.
And I don't think that it's because they're incapable of editing or they're not talented editors, and it has nothing to do with that. It's entirely to do with the editor's job is to be the impartial jury on stuff.
It's almost like a couples therapist.
Genuinely. And you are being the therapist between the artist and their art.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing process. It's a very intense process mentally to work on. And I know our friend Nick, who I don't know if he's listening, but if he is, hi Nick.
He'll show up eventually.
At some point, yeah. You know, he and I, a couple of my most recent narrative edits have been for his work. Mm-hmm. And he knows very well how that process goes.
Yeah.
Because we will have to make cuts that we fight lightly about it and back and forth. I'm like, here's the thing. This isn't a critical path to the story.
Right.
And we are still short by 2 minutes. It's gotta go.
I have kind of the same issue with, I mean, like, speaking as a writer, it's really hard to edit your own stuff within a certain amount of time of writing it. Because
if you wrote it, you put it there.
Yeah.
Getting rid of it is hard. Yeah. It's not a knock on any one creator. It's just the mentality and the psychology of creation.
Yeah.
And the idea of an editor, and an editor in the sense that, you know, a literary sense too, has the same kind of job.
Yep.
You are a person that says, I know that this chapter, or this part of this chapter, took you a long time to write, and you feel like it was some good writing. Mm-hmm. That's okay. No one cares. It's like, if you have to make those kinds of claims.
If Twilight had a qualified editor, they would have said to her, like, hey, Steph, this book doesn't begin until page 123.
Here's my problem with the Twilight. If she had gotten a competent editor to do this, I don't think there would have been more than a chapter or two of the book.
Yeah.
That's kind of the fundamental problem there.
And that's, and I mean, Twilight's for another day, but like,
spoilers.
But that's kind of the thing that, I mean, I I would love to be a writer editor, like a developmental editor, and like a story editor.
Right.
Because I like reading other people's work.
Yeah.
I also like helping people create the strongest story possible.
Yeah.
And as on the flip side of that, as a writer, I want, like, I gave my thesis, which was the first 100 pages of a novel, to Aaron to read as just a lay reader and give me his opinions. And I found out that my book doesn't really begin, and it's a common problem. Like, your book doesn't actually usually begin until chapter 3.
Right.
Like,
right.
So a lot of chapters 1 and 2, because it's all exposition and you could push it to later in the book, or maybe it's not needed, or maybe you can find a different way to, you know, express whatever you need to.
Right.
Like, that's where I've been, like, that's kind of where I live. It's like, where does this actually start?
Starting and ending things is incredibly difficult. And that's true in movies too. And in fact, this is a good example. Like this movie. I think it was an awesome start. I actually really liked it because you see action. It's immediately engaging. It introduces a major character right away and kind of their initial vibe. It gives you a sense of what they're supposed to be about, their energy. Like, I'm just a professor. This is what I do. I'm a professor guy who does literature, but I'm also an author. It introduces that very
very
first
quickly. Scene is in the Louvre with Silas and
but it's
Saunier, who's that's the inciting incident, because then the next several chapters,
but it immediately splinters into that dual,
because you get
piece
with
the
Silas, and then you get
Langdon,
and then you have and then Sophie comes in and brings her own stuff, and Fash has his own motivate. Like, you discover character motivation.
It feels very but it feels organic. Which I appreciate. So
which is, like, I'll probably deny saying this later, but that takes
it's on record, my dude.
That takes a really talented writer and a really talented editor to do. To get you into the story so quickly.
Right. And not question or feel exposition to or whatever.
And not like, and just, this is the way it is. This is what's happening. This is what we got to do, and we're going. Like, bing, bang, boom, we're done.
And,
like,
I remember the book
going off,
moving that way. Like, it was
because
very
the chapters were so short.
It just sucks you through it.
Just sucked you right in.
Fuck. Sorry.
Fuck.
Okay, so I have two.
Yes.
So two more things we have to talk about.
Thoughts.
The two thoughts are, well, the last thing is we have to do our rating. But the first thing before that I want to bring up is its Rotten Tomatoes score.
What is its Rotten Tomatoes score?
I want you to tell me what you think it is.
63.
25.
Really?
And I think that is so fucking low. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
isn't Rotten Tomatoes based off critics, though?
It's both. It's a hybridized score.
Okay, because I don't usually give Rotten Tomatoes that much cachet. Cause
I like it because I've found that movies that exist between like 50 and 70 are like really interesting, because they're usually like interesting for a specific group of people.
Right.
And movies that are above that tend to have like a lot of critical clout.
Yeah.
And they might be kind of art house.
Yeah.
Or they're just really good, like really, really universally loved. But movies below about 50 or 40% are just usually bad.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of shocked that this fell into that category. I don't think it deserves... I think you were right. Like, the 50 or 60% side would be where I would put it.
That's where I would put it.
You know, because it really isn't terrible. I wonder...
It's not a bad movie. I wonder if it's...
because of the content? 'Cause that's what I was wondering.
Maybe?
I don't know.
But also, like... I have a feeling that... maybe just all of the stuff around this book,
and that's kind of what I'm
maybe
wondering.
had an impact on the critics. Like it's kind of like they built it up in their heads so much, and then we saw didn't live up to their expectation. But also, like, it wasn't. I don't know. I have no idea why that would be, because I
agree.
Like I said, it's engaging. You get into the story super fast.
Now I'm curious enough that I'm actually.
You have a car chase in the first 20 minutes. So
okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So there's the You're right. The number the percentage that they cite outside of Rotten Tomatoes is the critical consensus. So the audience score is a separate number.
Yeah.
So do you know what the audience only score is?
I would assume somewhere in that 50 to 70 range.
57%.
Nice. Okay.
So that's interesting.
Also, I think the historical stuff, I think the fact that a lot of it is made up, like, I feel like that
Sudoku, the movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No. That's it. End of podcast. We're done. Nope, we're done.
That was on the thing. Okay, so what I will say is the standout critical thing that I saw here was the critic that I think I could understand as a summary was what seems credible on the page seems ludicrous on the screen. I think that's a fair that's a fair assessment, because we talked about that, but I also am a person that tends to try to especially if it's book-based content, that I try to extend it the same amount of credence as I will to the book. I didn't think it was outlandishly weird compared to it didn't feel more crazy to me. It didn't feel preposterous. It felt like a movie. It felt like an adventure. It felt like but it was what it was. It's fine that I can understand if they were like, it took itself too seriously, but given the content, I would understand that.
Yeah.
But I just think I don't know. I think people are too stuck in the mud about it. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I like like the logistics of their travel, and the
logistics of their travel is bad. That's a fair point. That's pretty rough.
I think Futurama did, in their first reboot, they did kind of a parody episode.
Is that where they went and found Da Vinci the robot?
Yeah. They found a robot that led them to the planet that Da Vinci was from.
Right, where he was actually an idiot.
Where he was actually an idiot.
On a planet of geniuses.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
It's like, and a lot of the assumptions that they make about the clues are really fucking
wrong.
Weird and really outlandish. Like, poor K, like K, the whatever, and the stuff and the thing, and it in the moment it makes sense,
right?
But like when you think about it, you're like, that's really stupid. That's really fucking dumb.
Yeah, going back and looking at it later is stupid, but
yeah,
for me, I never questioned the validity of the framing of the story. Like I never went, what? I was like, oh, that's
because
fun.
I was in the story. Right. Like I was it sucked you in.
It sucked me in. I did not get so cynical that I couldn't finish the story, you know? And I think because of that, I'm going to give it more than a 50%. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
that'd be, if we're looking at Rotten Tomatoes numbers, like, I would give it more than that, because at no point during it felt polished. It felt, put together enough that I felt compelled and pulled through.
Yeah. There were a couple points where I was like, okay. Mostly at the end, where they just walk right into the records room, where it has
I agree.
all of the damning
let me just drop some coins into this thing and walk downstairs and then
into this basement full of
still think that
world-altering secrets that has no locks and no doors and we're just two randos off the street.
I'm still in the belief that Some of that is you are the chosen one, therefore you will receive no resistance.
Yeah,
I think that was
I can buy that,
the thing.
Especially if the church guy was her brother, who supposedly died in the accident. I don't think they addressed that in the movie.
Yeah.
But I definitely remember in the books kind of getting that vibe.
Yeah.
Or in the book, not books, but in the book.
I got what you're saying.
There's the vibe that she and her brother survived the car crash that killed their parents or whatever.
And he was at Roslyn and
he was brought to Roslyn, and she lived with the Grandmaster.
A real Skywalker energy.
Or like a Parent Trap kind of thing.
Right.
Minus the parents.
Right. Which is why I was bringing up the Star Wars analogy.
And minus the twin aspect.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
You know
what I mean. Yeah.
I kind of got that
young.
vibe.
Yeah. No, I got you. Okay. So. It's time to run our numbers.
Rating.
Production and design. I thought it was kind of just on point the whole time.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna give other things, like based on the ratings that I've given things previously, I think it's only fair to give it a 5.
Yeah.
Story.
It's hard because
I think
do we base the story on how engaging it was versus how accurate versus how I'd give it a 3.5.
I see, and I was exactly on the 3.5 cusp as well.
Because
it's kind of, and also it's kind of derivative. Like at this point, it feels like it doesn't feel fresh,
right?
But I think that it was good enough to keep me engaged. But it's also empirically kind of outlandish.
Yeah, it's a blockbuster.
Yeah, it's a frame story to get you entering into these kinds of fun and unique places, and
it's a crazy popcorn adventure globe-trotting thing. So it's not meant to be high cinema. It's not meant to be high art. It's just it's
supposed to be fun and
it's
pulls you in and feels cool. I like 3.5.
3.5 works for me.
Performances.
I don't know.
I think 4.
Yeah.
Because look,
there was really no weak.
No one was a clinker, but it was what it was.
But it's and there's only so much you can do with.
I would highlight.
I think a lot of people had an issue with Tom Hanks's hair. Maybe that's why the ratings are so low.
It was weird.
Because we had never seen him.
Yeah, it wasn't standard for America's Dad. Yeah, it was fine. Like he was, and again, he always delivers a good performance in what he does.
It's Tom Hanks.
It's Tom Hanks.
You put him in a movie, he's gonna do great.
He's gonna be Tom Hanks.
That's bottom line.
I would like to call out. I think you mentioned this, that all of the French actors were French.
Yeah,
which was cool.
All of the actors from France, or supposed to be French, were French actors.
Which was cool.
Audrey Tautou
just increases it by a full point.
Yep.
It's fine. And then I think, let's see. I would also like to call out Ian McKellen, because I think that he played deranged very well.
He does. He does a good low-key villain.
Yeah. He went from being, and I'm so used to him being Gandalf that I'm not used to it. But going from the charming, doddering British, intelligent but kind of off his rocker guy, to like transitioning into being actually losing his mind,
kind of that academic weirdo who's like well respected, but also everyone thinks he's kind of nuts, to actually completely nuts,
fully nuts. And that transition, like, it is visual. You can see it on his face. He's able to bridge the gap between like theater and film and do it pretty well, and I think that's unique, and I think he deserves his flowers for that.
Absolutely.
But I think that every single actor did well, and the guy that played everyone.
There was no
Alfred Molina was amazing.
There's no weak part of this cast.
Everyone was good, and
everyone delivered.
I felt it was just incredibly solid. So 4. Okay, cultural impact. which has quickly become my favorite rating metric, because it's insane for these movies, because they've had so much time to steep in the cultural, I think paradigm.
Like, I want to say it's higher, on the higher range for me.
Okay.
But
I do
only
too.
because it's definitely faded from the cultural zeitgeist. But
you were talking about it, though, the way that it's invoked now is pretty positive. Like Ted Lasso. Yeah. It's brought up in a way that's sort of like nerdy. Like, it's almost like it was brought up in sort of a nerdy way. It's kind of like a, hey, remember when we were all obsessed with this thing? Yeah. It feels to me like how everyone had their freaking piratology and Egyptology books. Yeah. Like, it was of a time, and I think it affected a lot of people, and I don't think it really hurt anyone.
I mean,
the church.
Christianity would beg to differ.
Christianity is fine. I don't care about that.
I don't know if I mentioned it on this podcast yet, but it was definitely the first time that I took a critical look at religion.
Yes, that's a fair point.
At a young age.
Yeah, and we had talked about this off air before we started, and that is true. I think that I also was in the same boat, where it was my first critical lens into the theology that I was raised with. Yep. And in the end, it totally distanced me from it. I can't give it credit for being the thing that did it.
I wouldn't say it wasn't. It was the thing, but it was definitely the first step down the path.
Yeah, it opened the door.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it opened the door for me having another opinion, or at least giving it the same critical look that I would give anything. And then because of that, and plus decisions that the theology that I was raised in made,
right?
To people that I care about that are good citizens of the world, and I think that I decided that I was done with that. So it wasn't the final straw, but it was definitely the thing that opened up the opportunity.
Yeah. And the thing with like my religious upbringing was, it's because my parents split up when I was really young. My dad's side was Catholic, so I would occasionally go to Catholic mass on Sundays with my grandparents and my dad. And then my mom and my stepdad. Blood of Christ
shed for you.
My mom and my stepdad they never really found a church until I was in my late teens.
I see. So they weren't unchristian.
They weren't unchristian. They just couldn't find the right community. Yep. My stepdad's parents had started a church that was Baptist. Oh. Actually, bleep this out, but in. Oh. Yeah, it used to be church. Oh. And that's the one that they started.
Did not know that.
And they were very religious. My stepdad's whole upbringing was very religious and strict. But they, like I said, they never really found a community. So we would. Yeah. I remember we would go all over the Twin Cities just trying to find a church that they liked.
Lined up with
and we never really did until, like I said, way years later. After I had started questioning Christianity and looking at it through a more critical lens. So overall, I never really had a stable religious upbringing, right? Which is why I think it was pretty easy for me to kind of break away from it. Yep. Yep. And like I said, it didn't happen all at once. It was very gradual. Right. And this was definitely one of the first things that got me thinking, like, oh, right. Yeah. The Bible was written by people, not God.
A divine being directly. Yeah. Yep. And I think that's where and for me it was a little different because I was raised Lutheran. Yep. My thing was I was raised up, and by the time I got to high school, I was already on my way out. Yeah. But it was sort of just going through the motions. So I'm confirmed technically.
Oh, I was dedicated and baptized I was never confirmed because
you didn't have a church to go to for that.
Yeah.
Right. I was confirmed. I went through 2 different churches. I was baptized in one church and then confirmed from another.
And then even when I was a teenager and they would do like mass baptizings
right
at the church they landed at.
Yeah.
They would just like go to the lake and at
do
Bethel.
Baptism. Yeah.
And I never did that either. My sister did. My stepdad did.
So were they Baptist then? Is that what the...
No.
I thought Bethel was Baptist.
Bethel is Baptist. Okay. Because that's my stepdad's dad worked there for years.
Right. Okay.
Or no, it's the lake at Northwestern.
Northwest.
That they would go to.
That's not better, but okay.
It's not better, but whatever.
Bethel is like Diet Northwestern.
Yeah.
Anyway. Once again, we're just throwing hot takes out there like it's nothing. Anyway. But yeah, so I am technically confirmed.
Yeah.
But by the time that I was confirmed and in the rest of my days, I was done. Like I had no interest. I haven't really been back. Mm-hmm. And you know, it is what it is. And on my mom's side, she was raised Lutheran from a very young age. Mm-hmm. And so she's always been ELCA Lutheran, which is a pretty in the world of Christianity today, it's pretty lightweight.
Yeah.
Overall. Mm-hmm. My dad was raised Catholic.
Yep.
Until he was in like middle school. And then my grandparents stopped taking the entire family to mass.
Oh.
Just like overnight. So it's quit going. It was actually overnight, but anyway, they quit going. And then they just never went back. And they just stopped going to church. And so the my dad's side of the family, like that whole lineage is German and Catholic.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's interesting. And so he's never been a huge driver for church.
Right.
It was mostly my mom.
Yeah, and that's like we wouldn't go every Sunday to church.
Right.
Even when we had found a church. We would It was always sporadic.
Right.
Was my religious upbringing.
To take us back and
so both cultural impact.
Yeah, both Megan and I are going to take this way to both of our respective therapists, but otherwise we'll have to start, you'll have to start billing us. Yeah. So that's a whole separate thing. Do we want to say 4.5? 4?
I'd say 4.5. And just in the media, it caused a huge splash when it came out, mostly because of the religious implications and a bunch of these, like Opus Dei is an actual Catholic sect that had to like come out and say the depiction of us in this book is inaccurate. We don't actually do this, which I mean, methinks the lady doth protest too loudly.
Right.
And yeah, I was like, I definitely remember reading a bunch of like weird articles about all the different inaccuracies and such. Because like I said, this book was huge when it came out.
Totally.
I kind of wonder how many millions of copies it sold, because it had to be a lot. But yeah, it was a huge cultural touchstone at the time, which, like I said, has sort of faded as the years have gone by. But
according to Reuters, 80 million copies.
Holy shit.
That's a lot of
fucking copies.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Good for Dan Brown.
Good for Dan Brown. Look, we didn't, and I know you went on the record and said they're not amazingly written, but I will tell you one thing. They're written a lot fucking better than the Twilight series.
Yes. I will give, you know what?
He's not,
Dan, if you want to go sit down with Stephanie Meyer and just have coffee.
I don't wish
talk about stuff.
Dan, I don't wish that on you. Please don't do that.
I will pay for your coffee. No. I will pay for that date.
Dan, listen to me. Don't do it.
Dan,
don't do it. No.
Tell her how to make vampires actual vampires instead of fucking fae.
Dan, she's all about blood. The lore.
Mythology. Mythology is her thing.
Mythology is kind of her thing. I'm sure you would know nothing about that. It's fine.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so
two very different genres.
No kidding.
I can't even.
This brings us to the final numbers.
Yes.
And the exact total out of 5 stars is 4.3. Which we
round that
we have to round that. I think we've been rounding that up.
So do a 4.5.
So it'll be a 4.5, which is interesting because that's going to give us. Because I'm curious now against all of the other movies that we've done.
Yeah, I know. I think we gave Wolf of Wall Street a 4,
a pretty high score,
or a 4.5, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna watch review and log. Wolf of Wall Street, we gave 5 stars.
Huh. Yeah. Okay.
Because I think it was like 4.5 or something.
Yeah. It was like over 4.5, but less than 5.
Yeah.
And we can't do point whatever on Letterboxd.
That is correct, which is very frustrating, but also I don't really care.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Twilight, we gave 3 stars. So I think that's fine.
And Fight Club, we gave, I want to say 3.5 or 4.
Oh, please. Fight Club, we gave 3.5.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Because it was just incredibly hit by its cultural impact. Mm-hmm. We had some thoughts
that dragged it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, for all my bitching, all my picadillos about this this specific IP, this specific writer, and
the text,
at the end of the day, it's a good watch. It's a good read. Mm-hmm. It brings an interesting interrogation of stuff.
If you really want to experience the early aughts again, just fucking read this book.
God, yes.
That's the thing. Is like I want to read the book again. I'm gonna download the audiobook because I'm ready.
All right,
ready to go back. It's time.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
Let me know how it goes.
I will. I'll follow up.
Also, we should do Angels and Demons at some point.
We should do that. That's going to be on the list.
Like I said, I liked that one better. I don't think it had as big of a cultural impact.
Sure.
Mostly because the movie came on the heels of this one. And the book came out first.
Yeah, and Da Vinci Code had a lot more, for whatever reason, more cultural touchstone to people. Even though Angels and Demons was more Catholic-y. Super
Catholic. It takes place in the Vatican.
Yeah. But
with the Pope.
With the Pope.
No, not a Pope.
Oh.
The Pope.
Classic.
All right.
Let's wrap this thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Film School Slacker. My name is Ian.
I'm Meghan.
And we will see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Film School Slacker. Our graphic design is by Mitch Ransdell. Music by Ariel Shalom and Ziv Moran. Voiceover audio provided by Mike D and Janet Paoni. Learn more at filmschoolslacker.com.